Hello my friends, Sean from ShawneyFood.com. On this show, we talk about food you can make for yourself, your family, and of course, we never forget our friends. Today, it is creamy, delicious mushroom risotto, and it is coming up next. All right, here we are at the ingredients table once again. Well, we are going to use Arborio rice, which is the traditional rice that you're going to use for risotto. I'm going to use 4 cups of this bouillon. You can use the ready-made bouillon if you'd like to do that, that's fine. I'm using about 8 ounces of portobello mushrooms, which I'll slice up. I'm using a half of a scallion and 3 cloves of garlic, a little bit of Italian parsley, salt to taste, 3 tablespoons of butter, 3/4 of a cup freshly grated Parmesan cheese, some Pinot Grigio wine, which I like for a nice splash of that. Of course, I'll have a glass of that with it. And next, I'm using this basil-infused olive oil that I got in Amador County at Bella Grace Vineyards. It's wonderful. They've got different olive oils. You can go up there and check it out. Or below, you can find the link to the website and have it shipped to your house. So you ready? Let's go make this right now. Well, hey, all right, well, here we are. We're gonna get started here. Here's the first thing that we're gonna do. We're gonna take these mushrooms here, our beautiful portobello mushrooms, and we're gonna let them sweat in this pan. Okay, we let them sweat, they kind of break down, the flavors are gonna start to get going here, and then we're gonna remove them, and then we're gonna put some of our wonderful basil-infused olive oil down, and we're gonna put our rice in, and we're gonna let that kind of get in with the olive oil and some of the butter. 1 tablespoon of butter and the olive oil combination, okay? And then after that, then we're gonna add in our wine and so forth with our stock and continue to go. So let's roll. Okay, so we're adding our mushrooms to a hot pan. Now, mushrooms, of course, have got a lot of water in them, and they also like to absorb water. So I'm kind of making them sweat out. I want to break them down a little bit. I am going to remove them from the pan and then add my wine and let the alcohol cook off of that. But what happens is when I go to add them back in, they're going to absorb all that wine and chicken stock and all those wonderful flavors right back into the mushroom again, and it really works well. So these portobello mushrooms are going to be perfect for our recipe. Okay, so those mushrooms have been sweated out. I put those aside. Now I'm going to make my stock. So for this, I'm using 4 cups. Okay, so you might think that you have too much water there using 4 cups for this, but you're going to slowly add that in. Okay, and like I said before, it's going to thicken up, and by the time you get to the end, it should be nice and creamy. Okay, here is our chicken stock. Now, of course, remember I said you could use beef, fish, whatever you want, or vegetable. It just depends on what kind of risotto that you're making. You just want to put your stock together and put that aside, and we'll use that in just a bit. Now we've added our olive oil and our butter to the pan. We want to add our shallots, and of course some wonderful fresh garlic that I use in that little crusher. Little pinch of salt, stir that up, and we will add our Arborio rice, and we want to make sure that we coat all of that very evenly, and we want to toast it and just kind of let it sit there before we add our white wine. Okay, now we're adding our white wine, and we're going to let that alcohol cook off before we add our stock. Now at this point, you've been doing a lot of stirring. Okay, we're adding the stock now. Of course, I'm speeding up the cameras, but this is going to repeat itself over and over again, and you're going to be using it. Now we're adding the mushrooms. You're going to be adding that stock in very slowly, about 4 to 5 ladles at a time. I have a tiny little ladle, so if you use a standard ladle, probably about 1 to 1.5. You know a little history about risotto alla Milanese, brought by the Moors and Saracens after they settled in Europe. Rice was first introduced in Italy, precisely in Sicily, as early as the 13th century. Still today, in the Po Valley is one of the largest rice producers in Europe, and rice is eaten extensively throughout northern Italy. Thought you might like a little history about risotto. You know, I wanted to let this run in its entirety so that you can see every step that was taken to make this risotto, so that when you make it at home, I think if you follow along, you're going to have some great success with it. You know, top chefs out there, it takes them about 18 minutes to make this if you want to know how long it does, but anywhere of 20 minutes and up can take you to make risotto. I timed it, and it actually took me 23 minutes to make it, so not too bad. But no rush, take your time, and like I always say, you know, take your time and do it right, and it'll come out great. So that's definitely the truth with risotto. Your one big job is to continue to stir. Now that we're getting really close, we're going to add those 2 tablespoons of butter and a little bit of Italian parsley, and always continuing to stir. You better get yourself your favorite beverage while you're doing this, because you are going to be doing a lot of stirring. Of course, adding some more stock to it. We're getting real close, and now we're going to add ourselves some Parmesan cheese. And continue to stir. This is a dish that you can serve with steak, chicken, or just by itself as an entree. It is definitely comfort food, and I think we're just about ready to eat. All right. Well, mushroom risotto. Let's give it a go, shall we? It seems nice and creamy. You saw the Parmesan cheese and all, and oh man, you might just think, oh, he's just saying that. No, it is delicious. Did you see how much liquid I put into that thing? I mean, it's constant. You really can't leave it. You saw me that I wasn't stirring for maybe not even a couple of minutes. I mean, I sped up the cameras and stuff so that you don't get bored. But you're really gonna put in a lot of liquid into this. And like I said, for that one, I had 4 cups. So 4 cups for 1 cup of pasta. Excuse me, rice. Nice white wine. I hope you stuck with me the whole time. If you did, I hope that you learned something, that you'll want to share that with your family, of course your friends. Hey, if this is your first time checking out the show, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe and like it and share it with your friends. That would be great. And for all you guys out there that are subscribers already, I really thank you so much. Definitely, you know, let's have some engagement. Let's get engaged. I've got dozens of rings for everybody. No, let's talk about it. What ideas you got? Do you like risotto? Do you like other types of recipes? And I know that you guys out there have said, I put a post on Instagram and also Facebook and Twitter about my braised beef. And I said, should I make a show out of this? And I got some great response from that. So thank you so much. That show is coming up, the next one. So this is a little teaser, okay? But it is coming up next, just so you know. Hey, I thought you were gonna make that braised beef. No, it's coming up. So cool. Anyways, that's it for me. Another show. Thanks so much. You can see the ingredients and the directions down below. And again, give me some comments if you like it, you don't like it, whatever it is. I always like to know. It's good, right? So until next time, I'll see you then.